there's certain, obviously, new technologies coming along. Wind is a great example of one where, where the weather routing is even more
Obvious.
important
Yeah.
and as you said, more obvious. Um, and it's important where we have economic returns. It's great to get a good wind, but if it's a long distance to get the good wind, obviously that is not the most optimized route.
Yes.
So it's a very dynamic process, but using the data to prove the ROI, I think is really critical. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a really good point because that's going to be a difficult trade-off, and I think that's a trade-off that optimization is uniquely set up to do. Is like you're investing into like additional thrust, like for instance with wind.
Yeah.
Like how much of that can you capture in the most economic way?
Yeah.
Like you could maximize the benefits of sail by driving to the Southern Ocean, catch a lot of wind on the beam, but you'd be at at sea twice as long
Yeah.
and probably spend a lot more fuel and time in that
Yeah.
way. So
And obviously the market is obviously changing a
yes,
lot, so some ships may be earning more 1 month
yes,
and it can take more account of the wind, but sometimes we need to go much faster. So.
exactly. And I think that is the sort of like when we add complexity, dual fuels, alternative propulsion. To my mind, this is where optimization can really help. It's already hard. I would say, argue that it's probably impossible for a human on the back of the envelope to figure out what strategy to take today with just a combustion engine and weather resistance to like figure out what the best strategy is. But if you start adding sails and potential different types of fuels, then that certainly is impossible. And I
Yeah.
think that's where optimization can help, maximizing the benefits from a pure earnings perspective on the ship.